This is a test for audio and for shot parameters, and to see how many of you could catch the symbolism in the background, right here in the immediate background. Audio, testing, 1, 2, 3, audio. Homelessness for newbies. We're back at the fence again. Newbies. Right, seems like you guys kind of like this stuff, you know what I'm saying? So, you guys know, I probably spent 10 years or so of my life homeless. So I have a lot of experience, you know what I'm saying? I know a lot of shit about it. I know a lot of hustle. Right, so that for, you gotta keep yourself alive, right? Right, for all you young people that are newbies, you know what I'm saying? Right, you might gain some knowledge from this. You know what I'm saying? You might not. Right, you know, it's a mindset. I've said this many times in a lot of videos. There is a system to homelessness. Right, you just need to figure out what yours is. Right now, today, we're going to talk about a couple of things that you need to do and you need to learn, you know what I'm saying, so that you might have a better chance, right, at getting somewhere and doing something besides just being worthless. You know, I mean, that's what you're thinking right now anyway. I'm not. I don't ever think anybody's worthless. Everybody's got some value, right? It's how you think about yourself and where this leads you. The bicycle. This is a homeless person's best friend, especially for a newbie, right? Because you still might have a little bit of something. You might have, you know, something in your resource pocket, you know what I'm saying, where you can exist for a little bit, you know what I'm saying, out in the wide open. You know, the wide open of the city jungle, right? A bicycle, yeah, now you see some pretty junky ones, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but you know what? Little elbow grease down at the local bicycle co-op in your locality. Like if you're in Phoenix, you know what I'm saying? It's the Rusty Spoke over on Grand Avenue. You go in there, dude, they'll give you a bike for free, and all you got to do is put it together, and donate 8 hours of your time, and it's yours. And look at this, this is a good one. This is a Univega. I can make this sucker into a badass fucking conversion bike worth a couple of, you know, $100, right? Just to ride around. Or one of the, even the girls I've ridden, there's videos of me riding girls' bike. Right? They're a good solid form of transportation. Look here, here's an old classic. This one is a Kent. This one here might even actually be worth a little bit of something, you know what I'm saying? At least the frame on the internet, you know what I'm saying? Bicycles, nobody thinks about it, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody, you know, all the streeties and everybody, their bike hustle is, you know, it's all about drugs and bullshit, you know what I'm saying? A lot of thievery, you know what I'm saying? Keeping a bicycle is a huge thing when you're homeless, especially if you're a newbie, you know what I'm saying? You don't know too many people, you don't know where you're around very far, you know what I'm saying, right? But a bicycle can take you to places where you can find a good safe spot farther out from the center of the city where all the bad stuff is. You know what I'm saying? It can take you to a job interview, it can take you to work. I used to ride my bike to work every day. There's a video of me riding my bike to work one day when it was a holiday and I didn't have to. You can carry a lot of stuff on your bike, you know what I'm saying? You can, you know, stretch your hustle out like I said. You know, you can collect cans, which is another thing we're going to get into. You know what I'm saying? But bikes and bike parts, it's a good, clean, legit hustle. There are a lot of bike store guys, you know what I'm saying, that will trade parts with you, you know what I'm saying, you know, let you work off a little bit of this or that if you got any type of skill. You need to, you know, if you're going to have a bicycle, you need to know at least the basic, you know, maintenance techniques of keeping the derailleurs good and the brakes tight, air in the tires. Don't be a flat tire jack. Look at this. Right, flat tire jack, don't be. You know what I'm saying? Right? Making sure all the bearings are good and everything, you know what I'm saying? Right now, once you get yourself a bike, and there's a lot of places where you can go, Salvation Army, thrift stores, you know what I'm saying? You're walking along one day and you see a homeboy with a, you know, little jack in the wall, you know, bike shop, you know what I'm saying? You can walk in there, maybe get one for 10, 15, 20 bucks, you never know. You know what I'm saying? On the streets, most bikes go for about 40 bucks, no matter what shape it's in. You know, up or down, you know what I'm saying? And they'll trade commodities for them, right? But about 40 bucks, you know what I'm saying? If it's a good bike, like a Univega, and it's got a good set of wheels on or something, you can get upwards of $300, $400 for one of these, you know what I'm saying? That's, you know, good, clean hustle. I used to do it, I did it for a long time, you know what I'm saying? Right? And a lot of the motorized guys that are watching this video right now, yeah, look at what I got to choose from to put a motor on. You know what I'm saying? Whenever I get time to do it, and whenever, you know, it ain't 39 degrees outside. Look, you got time to make videos, Brian. Do you know how cold it really is right now? As soon as I'm done making this video, right back to the camp trailer. But anyways, right, yeah, the bicycle. You need to get you one, right? It will increase, you know what I'm saying, the quality of your life by half from right now with nothing but a backpack. It will. Can't. This right here is a liquid financial resource that you can use any time you can find cans. Right? Yeah, I still collect cans. There, I got a big old, that trailer right there is full of cans. I got a bunch of bags right there on the ground next to it. I probably got $100 worth of cans just laying right there. Right? That's a readily used resource that I need. If we need a couple, extra $100 this week or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Or one of our various road trips to Reno or to Las Vegas, we need extra gas money, I just take it with me. Right? Cash it in when I get there. You know what I'm saying? If you live in and around the city and you got a bicycle, cans are dude, that's your best friend. Right? When I used to ride around, I used to just tie an extra bag on the back of my backpack strap or the handlebars of my bike. You know what I'm saying? And collect cans from point A to point B, wherever I was going. There were days where I could pick up $10, $12 worth of cans, just going where I needed to go anyway. And it doesn't take but a second to pull up a stop, pinch it up. Some people, they make a stick with a nail on it. They just pick them up on the roll. Yeah, cans. Here, and here's another something you could find just laying around in the streets while you're wandering around. You know what I'm saying? Or if you look at strategic places and you'd be cool about it, right? You know what I'm saying? Is this right here. Dude, if you were pushing this bundle of copper right now, burnt up as bad as it is, if you were pushing this bundle of copper down the street in your shopping basket to the recycling place, I know street people that would kill you for this. Right? That's how valuable copper is. And you can find it anywhere, everywhere. Man, I better hurry up and get to my spot, G, or somebody pokes up, steals the wheels off my car. Okay, so you got the general concept there, and there's other stuff too that you can pick up that you'll find in your travels if you're a wanderer. You know what I'm saying? If you're a camper, you know what I'm saying, you're going to be expected to try, if you're going to camp in this little spot with this little family group, you are going to be expected to contribute to that family group. So you're going to, you need to learn how to scavenge anyway, right? If you are totally set on, trying to exist out on the streets, then this is one of the skills that you need to develop. And you need to develop to a finely tuned machine, right? And have your places and have your spots where you're going to find it at. Metal, aluminum, mostly aluminum, copper, right? Stainless steel. You need to learn the difference between all these metals. You carry a little magnet with you so you can tell which ones are magnetic and which ones are not, right? Aluminum's not magnetic, right? You don't necessarily have to limit yourself. I used to do, I called it canning, right? The first thing in the morning when I woke up, I take off, after I got my bearings, I'd take off on my bike, going over to a friend's house or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'd scooch down a couple of alleys, a couple of the ones where I knew I was gonna find some. You know what I'm saying? And hit up, a couple of the dumpsters along the way, or just pick them up in the alley, and then come out the other side, go down the street, pick whatever up I could find in the street, copper, and along the way I'd pick up copper wire, any, speaker plug, anything. It all counts. You know what I'm saying? You just mass it up into a big bundle of jumbled wires and throw it on the scale, he'll give you at least 40 cents a pound for it. Right? Now, I made lots of videos concerning this shit, but I'm going to rehash it for the newbies, right? You know what I'm saying? If you do happen to find yourself in the middle of, the city, right? You know what I'm saying? It behooves you, right, to find a camp spot, you know what I'm saying, that's farther out from the center of downtown, right? Or in some cities, uptown. You know what I'm saying? That, because that's the, biggest accumulation of streeties and homeless people and really bad stuff going on anyway. You know what I'm saying? Drugs and crime and police and everything else. You know what I'm saying? Right? I mean, if you're drawn to that, fine. You know what I'm saying? You need to learn to hustle right, to get something going for yourself, you know what I'm saying? Because if you don't, you're just going to be another piece of the pavement. I promise. Right? Now, downtown is in and around the big buildings, you know what I'm saying? You can find a lot of cool little cubby holes and little spots, you know what I'm saying, within the vegetation, you know what I'm saying, that's around the property. I mean, like I could use Phoenix for example. San Francisco's this way too, Seattle. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the big buildings downtown, they have their own big private, you know, property with parking structure. Parking structures are always good if you can make friends. I've said this, if you can make friends with a security guard. You know what I'm saying? But there's always a little cubby. I used to find places out of the way, a couple farther blocks off of downtown, either east or west, north or south, you know what I'm saying, where the lawyer offices are and stuff, because they always have big lots with a lot of vegetation and stuff that you can camp behind. You know, little cubby holes built into the brick walls and stuff that nobody knows there, right? When, you know, scouting and finding is important. You know what I'm saying? Right, now, uptown, you know what I'm saying, in some cities is, you know, farther away from the center of the madness, right? And out there, you know what I'm saying, as long as you stay along the main business corridor streets, right, you know what I'm saying, you will find dumpsters and other places where people accumulate, you know, stuff, right? You know, wandering through the streets. I mean, in Phoenix, they used to do, you know, hard trash every 90 days. They did hard trash in all the zones of the city, and people would just pile their stuff out on the streets, and the trash guys would come around and pick it up for a whole week, right? You know what I'm saying? In cities that do that, you know what I'm saying, a lot of the times, once the people pile the stuff up out onto the street, it's just trash. As long, you know what I'm saying, and there's some good, you'll find some killer ass shit. I found brand new televisions, fucking jewelry boxes that still had jewelry in them, right? Sometimes I found money in the clothes that they were throwing out. You know what I'm saying? It behooves you to learn this important lesson when you're treasure hunting during hard trash or in any dumpsters or anything, right? Do not leave a mess. No matter how much of that trash you got to dig through, do not leave it scattered all over the place. Because if you do, right, you just ruined it for yourself and everybody behind you that just might get lucky one day and find something in that dumpster that'll get them out of their mess. Right? Now there are, here, this is an important thing right here. There are a lot of food businesses like Little Caesars, sometimes Domino's, right? Burger King, right? Jack in the Box does sometimes, you know what I'm saying, depending on the location of the Jack in the Box and whether it's a franchise or a corporate store, right? Got to make sure the popo ain't around every once in a while, right? You know what I'm saying? Right? The difference between a corporate and a franchise store is that a corporate store, they just throw away their end of the day waste. Right? If you make friends with somebody, you know what I'm saying, that works at the fucking Burger King or something, you know what I'm saying, and you're there like right around 10 o'clock, 10:30 when they're shutting the place down, you just might get lucky and get a whole bag full of food. Right? Hamburgers, cheeseburgers, ultimate cheeseburgers, chicken pot pies, whatever the hell they got. Because they're just going to throw it in the dumpster anyway. Right? You understand? Bowls of donuts is good. Right? I mean, there are literally millions of spots within a good-sized major city where you can find food that's edible. Well, I got videos proving it, you know what I'm saying? I also got one video proving it's not edible, and why, you know what I'm saying? But there, dude, I've said this 100 times. You need to learn to capitalize on the resources that are around you, right? You don't want to spend the rest of your life in the junkyard, right? Hoping nobody steals your wheels, right? Pimps your bike out. Dude, right? You know, you gotta evolve. You have to learn quickly here, off the ground. And like I said earlier in this video, if you still have a little bit of financial resources in your pocket that you're hiding from people, you make sure that you keep it hidden from people and you don't spend any money with anybody. Otherwise, they're going to, dude, that shit will disappear faster than Jack. You know what I'm saying? And you ain't going to get nothing out of it. Right? Now, out here in the desert, you gotta put the fire out. Alright? Now, however you do it is the way you do it. right? And then I made videos. The Cultural Cup. It's a little tiny food bank that caters specifically to homeless people, and I know they have them in different cities in the East and in the Midwest and out here in the West. I know they do because I'm a card carrying member. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. There's all kinds of resources, programs, and shelters and food stamps. There's all kinds of resources. You just gotta apply yourself and go downtown somewhere to the DES office, HHS, right, wherever. You know what I'm saying? The church, you know what I'm saying? There's millions of places where you can get food, clothes. I mean, you just don't just sit there and tell me, oh, what do I do? Right? You ain't gonna do nothing. Right? But living on the streets is not that hard. You know what I'm saying? Summertime it might be hot depending on where you're at. Wintertime it might be cold depending on where you're at. You know what I'm saying? But just be, just because you lost your job, got kicked out of your mom's house, you know what I'm saying, you failed at school, you know what I'm saying, does not give you an excuse to just give up on what it is that you were trying to achieve in your young life to begin with. Failure is an option. Come on, this is you guys' thing. Like, you're the ones on the Discord. Failure is just an option. Failure is when you get a new idea. Nobody fails. But at this point, you're telling me, I don't know what to do. I'm scared. You are setting yourself up for what? Failure. This is the way I look at failure. Failure is another chance to do it right. Yeah. Think about it. Get your act together. Right? You were at one point, I'm thinking that at one point you were at least semi-responsible for your own self. That didn't go away either. Here, ancient Chinese proverb. You are solely responsible for the consequences of your own actions. This is me, Brian. Right? Please like and subscribe, share this video. Right? If you think other homeless newbies need to know, you need to get a little background information before they jump into the cesspool. Thank you.